Today, we're going to create a Phalaenopsis orchid bouquet. Here are the materials you'll need: milk cotton in 4 different colors, thin white wire, green stalks, and a 2.5 mm crochet hook. Our material kit includes a standard crochet hook, which is suitable for creating this bouquet using Tunisian stitches. Although the flower pieces are relatively small and can be made with a normal crochet hook, if you have a Tunisian crochet hook of the same size at home, feel free to use it as a substitute. Let's take a closer look at the bouquet. Each Phalaenopsis orchid is composed of front petals, back petals, and the central heart. The petals of the Phalaenopsis orchid are made using both Tunisian, aka Afghan, crochet stitches and traditional crochet stitches, whereas the center heart is created solely with traditional crochet stitches. This combination brings a unique texture and depth to the bouquet. The buds at the top of the flower are also created using traditional crochet stitches. Crafting this flower bouquet involves 2 different stitching techniques, and I hope you pick up some new tips as you work on it. For clearer presentation, we'll use blue yarn instead of white to demonstrate this. To begin, we will create a magic ring. Hold the yarn in one hand and wrap it around your fingers twice to form 2 loops. Roll the yarn around your little finger of the other hand and then transfer the loop. Hold the bottom of the loops tightly to secure them in place. Take out the crochet hook and insert it into the loop. Hook the yarn and pull it through. Now, you should see a loop on your crochet hook. Then, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. You'll see a V-shaped stitch forming. This is our first chain stitch. Stretch out the loop, then take a look at the back of the chain stitch. You will see the back bump of the first chain stitch. This is where our first stitch will go. Place a marker at this bump. Put hook back to loop and make 12 chain stitches. Crochet the chains loosely to make it easier to find the back bump in later crocheting. Now that we've finished crocheting 13 chain stitches, flip it over and you'll notice that each V-stitch corresponds to a raised bump stitch on the back. These bump stitches are where we will continue our crocheting. Locate the first bump stitch, the second bump stitch, and the third one, the fourth one, and the 5th bump stitch. This raised bump stitch on the back is where our first stitch will go. Pin a marker at the 5th bump stitch. Put the hook back into the loop, and we are going to work 2 Tunisian treble crochet stitches, which are very similar to the standard treble crochet. Let me show you how to crochet these stitches. Yarn over twice, then insert the hook into the 5th bump stitch where we placed the marker. Remove the marker. Yarn over and draw the yarn through, pulling up a loop. You will now have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. Now, there are 3 loops remaining on the hook. Yarn over again and pull the yarn through the next 2 loops on the hook. Now, there are 2 loops left on the hook. This is our first Tunisian treble stitch of the forward pass. As we know, each row of Tunisian crochet is made up of a forward pass and a return pass. Now, we are working on the forward pass. Yarn over twice, insert the hook into the next stitch, and pull up a loop. Then, yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over again and pull the yarn through next 2 loops. Here we can see 2 Tunisian treble crochet stitches completed. Next, we will continue with 2 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Yarn over once, then insert the hook into the next bump stitch, and pull through with the yarn. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. This is 1 Tunisian double crochet. Move on to make the second Tunisian double crochet. Next, let's move forward and make 2 Tunisian simple stitches. Insert the hook into the next bump stitch and pull up a loop. This completes 1 Tunisian simple stitch. Repeat to crochet the second Tunisian simple stitch. Our forward pass for the first row is finished. You can see that we now have 7 loops on the hook, and there are 3 bump stitches left unworked. Now let's make the return pass to finish the first row. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 6 times until only 1 loop remains on the hook. This completes the return pass. After completing the return pass, our second row is now finished. We can now proceed to crochet the third row. Start the third row by crocheting 4 chains. Yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook to complete 1 chain stitch. Locate this back bump stitch and pin a marker. Continue to crochet the remaining 3 chains. After completing 4 chain stitches, proceed to crochet 3 Tunisian treble crochet stitches. Yarn over twice, then insert the hook into the position marked by the marker. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the stitch. Yarn over again and draw through 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 1 more time. 1 Tunisian treble crochet is finished. Now, remove the marker. Keep on crochet 2 more Tunisian treble crochet. After crocheting 3 Tunisian treble crochet stitches, there should be 4 loops on the hook. Next, proceed to crochet 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Continue by crocheting 2 Tunisian simple stitches. The last simple stitch is crochet at the bump stitch from row 1. We have completed the forward pass of the second row, leaving 2 bump stitches unworked. Now, let's proceed with the return pass of the second row. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 7 more times until only 1 loop remains on the hook. The third row is finished. Now, let's proceed to crochet the fourth row. Crochet 4 chains, then locate the bump stitch of the first chain. Begin by crocheting 3 Tunisian treble crochet stitches. Yarn over twice and insert the hook into the located stitch. Crochet the way we have demonstrated before. Three Tunisian treble crochet stitches are complete, leaving 4 loops on the hook. Continue by crocheting 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Then, crochet 3 Tunisian simple stitches. Now, let's proceed with the return pass of the third row. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 9 times until only 1 loop remains on the hook. The fourth row is complete, and now we will proceed to crochet the fifth row. We'll start by crocheting a picket stitch. Let me demonstrate how to do it. Crochet 2 chains, then stretch out the loop. Find the V-stitch at the corner right here. Insert the hook into the corner V-stitch and yarn over and pull the yarn through and then drawing it through the loop on the hook. This creates 1 picket stitch, which forms a sharp point on the flower. Then crochet 1 chain. For the fifth row, we'll start by crocheting the forward pass. Let's locate the first stitch where we'll insert the hook. Locate the third vertical line and then identify its corresponding bump stitch. Locate this stitch. Begin by crocheting 3 Tunisian treble crochet stitches. Start from that stitch. Crochet the first Tunisian treble crochet at the located position. Crochet the second Tunisian treble crochet into the next bump stitch, and then the third one. Now, proceed to crochet 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Follow this by crocheting 3 Tunisian simple stitches. For the last Tunisian simple stitch, locate the second bump stitch of the chain stitch from row 1 and crochet the Tunisian simple stitch into it. After that, there is 1 stitch left unworked. Now, let's proceed with the return pass of the 4th row. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 9 times until only 1 loop remains on the hook. We have finished the 5th row. Now, let's crochet the 6th row. To start the 6th row, locate the 3rd vertical line and identify its corresponding stitch. This is where you'll begin the crochet for this row. Begin by crocheting 4 chains, then proceed to crochet 3 Tunisian treble crochet stitches. Next, crochet 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Then, crochet 2 Tunisian simple stitches. For the return pass of the 5th row, yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 8 times until only 1 loop remains on the hook. As we begin the 7th row of the crochet, we switch to normal crochet stitches. Start by crocheting 5 chain stitches. Yarn over twice to prepare for a treble crochet stitch. Locate the stitch along the 2nd vertical line and insert your hook into its corresponding stitch. Yarn over again and draw the yarn through, pulling up a loop. Yarn over again and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step 2 more times. 1 treble crochet stitch is complete. Now, move on to crochet the 2nd treble crochet stitch. Next, create a normal double crochet stitch. Yarn over, then insert the hook into the back stitch and pull through with yarn, leaving 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops at once, completing the double crochet stitch. Yarn over, then insert the hook into the stitch and pull through with yarn, leaving 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops at once, completing the half double crochet stitch. Follow with a single crochet stitch. Insert the hook into the hole and pull out the yarn, leaving 2 loops on the hook. Then, yarn over and pull through both loops at once. This completes the single crochet stitch. Next, crochet 4 slip stitches. Insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, and pull the yarn through both the stitch and the loop on the hook. This completes 1 slip stitch. Repeat this process for the remaining 3 slip stitches. Make the 4th slip stitch at the marked stitch. Then remove the marker. Next, crochet 2 single crochet stitches into the larger hole. Our first petal is now complete. To create the second petal, repeat the same set of stitches as used for the first. Follow the same sequence to complete the second petal. Begin by 13 chains. Pin a marker at the first bump stitch. Then continue using the same method to complete the second petal. Stretch out the loop. Now you can see that 2 petals are finished. Let's move on to close the magic ring. Locate the short yarn tail and gently pull it to find the moving thread. Pull the moving thread in the opposite direction until the circle is closed. Then pull the short tail firmly to tighten the loop. Then put the hook back and make a slip stitch with the first V-stitch of the first petal to close this round. Cut off the yarn. Let's look at the front and the back side of the petals. Now we'll move on to crocheting the back 3 petals. Like the front petals, these are also started with a magic ring and crocheted using Tunisian stitch. Finally, they are edged with wire wrapped in for structure and shape. To begin, we will create a magic ring. Hold the yarn with your hand and wrap it around your finger twice to form 2 loops. Wrap the yarn around your little finger and transfer the rings to the hand. Hold the bottom of the rings tightly to secure them in place. Take out the crochet hook and insert it into the rings, then hook the yarn and pull it through. Now, you should see a loop on the crochet hook. Then, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. You'll see a V-shaped stitch forming. This is our first chain stitch. Stretch out the loop and then look at the back of the chain stitch. You will find a bump from the first chain stitch. This is where our first stitch will go. Place a marker at this first bump stitch. Put the hook back to the loop and make 14 more chain stitches. Try to crochet the chains loosely to make it easier to find the back bumps later. Now that we've finished crocheting 15 chain stitches, flip it over and you will see that each V-stitch corresponds to a raised bump stitch on the back. Locate the bump stitch on the last chain. From this position, crochet 3 Tunisian simple stitches. Here is the first Tunisian simple stitch. The second one. And the third Tunisian simple stitch is complete. There are 4 loops on the hook. Then, crochet 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. The first Tunisian double crochet. Hold the loop securely with your middle finger to prevent it from slipping. The second stitch. And the third one. Next, crochet 4 Tunisian treble crochet stitches. Yarn over twice. Then insert the hook into the next bump stitch and pull the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook, then repeat this step once more. Keep crocheting the remaining Tunisian treble crochet stitches. The fourth Tunisian treble crochet is finished. Then, continue by crocheting 3 Tunisian double crochet stitches. After that, crochet 2 Tunisian simple stitches. The second Tunisian simple stitch will be crocheted in the marked place. Now that we've reached the position of the ring, crochet a normal single crochet stitch into this ring. Next, let's make the return pass to finish the first row. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook. Then, place a marker at the first bump stitch of the first return pass, which marks the location of the last stitch of next row. Then we repeat this step 3 more times. Now that we have arrived at the position of the Tunisian treble crochet, pass through 3 loops at once, and repeat this step once more to make 2 Tunisian treble crochet decreases. Yarn over and pass through 3 loops at once. Repeat the step 1 more time. Then, yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook, and repeat this step 7 times until only 1 loop remains on the hook to complete the return pass for this row. After completing the return pass, our first row is finished. Now, let's proceed to crochet the third row. Start with 4 Tunisian simple stitches. Then follow with 6 Tunisian double crochet stitches. Next, crochet 3 Tunisian simple stitches. The third Tunisian simple stitch crochet at the marked position. Then, crochet a normal single crochet stitch into the ring. Now, let's start the return pass to complete the second row. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook at once. Pin a marker to the bump stitch we just made. We continue with the return pass. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook, repeating this 10 more times. Now, with 3 loops remaining on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops at once. We proceed to the fourth row. For this row, we'll use the normal crochet stitch. Begin by crocheting 3 single crochet stitches. Then we crochet 1/2 double crochet. Next, crochet 2 double crochet stitches. After that, we crochet a treble crochet increase, which means we crochet 2 treble crochets in 1 stitch. Complete 1 treble crochet stitch, then repeat to crochet a second one in the same stitch. First treble crochet increase complete. Repeat to crochet the second treble crochet increase. Then proceed with 2 double crochet stitches. Next, crochet a 1/2 double crochet. Now, at the marker's position, crochet a single crochet in this stitch. Remove the marker and crochet a single crochet stitch into the big loop hole. The first back petal is finished. Now, let's move on to repeat the last set of stitches to crochet the remaining 2 petals. Gently pull the short yarn tail. Locate the moving thread and pull it in the opposite direction until the circle is completely closed. Pull the yarn tail firmly to tighten the circle. Cut off the yarn and weave the yarn tail to the back side. Take out a wire and bend it at the 1-inch length position. Locate the outer half stitches of the V-stitches. Thread the wire through the outer half stitches. Keep threading along the outer edge of the petal. Once finished threading the second petal, pull out the wire a bit, leaving about 4 inches on the other end. Then, shape the petal and put the wire to the back. Then, take out the second wire and repeat the process to thread through the stitches of the third petal. Put the wire to the back, and our back petals are finished. We now move on to crocheting the flower heart. Take out the bright yellow yarn and start with a magic loop. Hold the yarn with one hand and wrap it around your finger twice to form 2 rings. Transfer the rings to your other hand. Hold the bottom of the rings tightly to secure them in place. Insert the hook, pull a loop through the ring. Then, yarn over and pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. You'll see a V-shaped stitch forming. This is our first chain stitch. Then, crochet 6 single crochet stitches into the ring. Pin a marker at the first made stitch. Continue with 5 more single crochet stitches. Count to ensure there are 6 V-shaped stitches here. Pull the yarn tail gently. Locate the moving thread and pull it in the opposite direction until the circle is completely closed. Pull the yarn tail again firmly to tighten the rings. Locate the first V-stitch you made at the beginning of this round. Insert your hook into this stitch and make a slip stitch to close the round. Then, we start the second round with a turning chain. For the second row, we crochet single crochet around. Pin a marker at the first made stitch. Then, continue crocheting single crochet stitches in each stitch around. After completing the last single crochet stitch, insert your hook into the first stitch and make a slip stitch to close the round. Stretch out the loop and cut the yarn off. After crocheting, you'll have a half circle shape. The concave side is the right side. Turn it inside out so the right side faces outward. The flower heart is finished. Take out the light yellow yarn and crochet the stamens part. Leave a 4 inches yarn tail and tie a single knot. Locate the first V-shaped stitch on the left side of the yarn tail where we just made the slip stitch. Insert the hook into the stitch, place the yarn tail over the hook to hide it while crocheting, then place the light yellow loop onto the hook. Tuck the yarn tail to the back and hook the loop through, pulling gently to adjust the size of the loop. Then, we crochet 6 chain stitches. We'll begin by crocheting the top half of the V-stitches. Insert the hook into the top half of the second to last stitch, and make a slip stitch. Then, we proceed to crochet a treble stitch in the first stitch. Next, we crochet a double crochet into the same stitch. Continue to crochet 3 chains. Then, insert the hook back into the first stitch and make a slip stitch. Next, crochet 1 chain stitch. Then, insert the hook into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. After that, crochet 7 chain stitches. Insert the hook into the top half of the second to last stitch from the top and crochet a slip stitch. Then, crochet a double treble stitch in the second stitch. Yarn over 3 times, then insert the hook into the second stitch. Yarn over the hook and draw yarn through the stitch. There are now 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over the hook and draw through 2 of the loops on your hook, repeating this step until you have only 1 loop left on the hook. Then crochet a treble stitch. Next, crochet a double crochet stitch. Make 3 chains. And crochet a slip stitch at the same stitch. Then we crochet a chain and make a slip stitch in the next stitch. Crochet 3 chains. Followed with a double crochet stitch in the same stitch. Then create a treble stitch in the same stitch. Next, we crochet 2 chains. Locate the V-stitch at the corner, insert the hook into this stitch, yarn over, and pull through both the stitch and the loop on the hook to complete the picket stitch. Then crochet 4 chains. And make a slip stitch at the same stitch. Cut off the yarn and stretch out the loop. The flower heart is finished. We move on to assemble the flower center, the front petals and the back petals. Use the hook to thread the yarn tails of the flower heart through the hole in the front petals. Adjust the position of the flower heart, placing the longest stamen in the center. Now hook all of the threads through the back petals. Adjust the position of the petals. Take out the green thread and wrap it around from the top to the bottom for about 3.25 inches length. Clip the green yarn in the middle of the wire and then cut the yarn off. Repeat the above steps to crochet 12 Phalaenopsis orchids. Every 4 Phalaenopsis orchids will form a flower branch, making a total of 3 branches. Now, we are going to crochet the buds. You can see that there are 2 buds at the top, one green and one white. Retrieve the green yarn and create a magic ring. Insert the hook into the ring and pull a loop through the ring. Then, make a turning chain. Then we crochet 3 single crochet stitches. Pin a marker at the first made stitch. Three single crochet stitches finished. Locate the short yarn tail and gently pull it. Find the moving thread and pull it in the opposite direction until the circle is completely closed. Pull the short yarn tail again to firmly close the ring. Locate the first V-stitch we made, insert the hook into this stitch and make a slip stitch to close this round. Crochet a turning chain to start the second round. Then crochet single crochet increase all around. Stretch out the loop and place a marker in the first made stitch. Insert the hook into the same stitch and crochet another single crochet. This completes a single crochet increase. Continue to make the remaining stitches in this round. After finishing the second row, there are 6 V-stitches here. Make a slip stitch and turn the right side out. Then crochet a turning chain. In the third round, we crochet single crochet stitches around. After that, we make a slip stitch in the first stitch. We proceed to the fourth round and make single crochet decrease at this round. Start with a turning chain. Insert the hook into the first stitch and pull the yarn through. Then, insert the hook into the second stitch and pull the yarn through again. You should now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. 1 single crochet decrease is completed. Place a marker in this stitch. Move on to finish the remaining 2 single crochet decrease stitches. Then make a slip stitch in the first stitch. Stretch out the yarn and cut the yarn off. We have finished the bud. Use the same method to create a white one. Take a wire and cut about 8 inches. Pass the wire through the bottom stitches and fold in the middle. Wrap yarn tail around the wire for 3 inches length. Then clip the yarn tails in the center. Leave 1-inch tail and cut off the yarn. Next, let's assemble the parts. Put the 2 buds on top of the green stalk. Leave about 2 inches. Then take out the green yarn. Leave 2 inches yarn tail and start wrapping. Grab the first Phalaenopsis orchid after wrapping 2 to 4 inches and add it to the stock. Continue wrapping. Add the remaining Phalaenopsis orchid, maintaining the same spacing as you continue to wrap. Tie knots at end to secure it in place. One bunch of Phalaenopsis is complete. The crochet kit can make up to 3 bunches. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this crochet journey.